Well, look what we got here. They've even decorated the trash bin on the pavement en route to the castle. I think that's the church near the mini market near the accommodation. Therefore, somewhere right ahead is where we're staying. And it has a very distant view from the rooftop, as we saw yesterday, of this. Find the step. 16th century Miska Brahma. If you feel like practicing bow and arrows, or even throwing axes, they've got swords there as well. And emerging out of the bleariness of my camera's limitations, we have the fortress. And we have some kind of bicycle race as well. I'm only doing that because it's what all the locals have been doing, or all the other tourists, however you wish to view the other people here at the moment. And a scheme of the cafe, as though it in itself is somehow of historic relevance. Not a cyclist myself, but I can only imagine that your arse is really going to hurt if you're coming down here on these cobblestones, riding on a bike. Oh. Blimey. Here's another way up if you want to take it. You know what I thought just for a minute? I saw the dog and then I thought, hello. I thought of that couple from Ivano-Frankivsk. And I did say, oh, we'll meet in Kamyanets-Podilsky next. Could still happen. Could still happen. They're probably home in Bobbin, and if they are, I'll say buenos dias to you. Uliana and Gennady. That's right. Never got the name of the dog though. Unlike me. I usually remember the dog's name. Never remember people's names, or faces for that matter. It's not the worst view in the world looking behind me, actually, is it? But it's what's in front of me that brings me here today. The guy's asked if he wants any water. He says no, so he gets it thrown on him instead. And here we are to presumably the entrance. There's our wooden church. Footbridge, dead centre. And that's the accommodation up there. Onward and upward, I think. Adults 100 hryvnia, children 50. Time to put your hand in your pocket again and splash some cash. And just to prove I did spend money, as you don't often see me spending money, sometimes there's no other way. Does this mean that a balloon took off from here in 1784? Built in the 12th to 18th centuries. 7 wonders of Ukraine. In the 16th century, it consisted of 16 towers surrounded by high walls, 2 casements and 3 gates. There were 2 wells inside. In the 19th century, the castle was turned into a prison, and in the 1920s, it became an integral part of the museum. Okay. There we got a view of the old town and the Stary Zamok. Oh, and I remember this character. I made a little movie of this character all those years ago. He's got a surprise. You'll never guess what's in his basket. We might see that later. Give you time to think about, ooh, what would a monk have in his basket? He's carrying it on his back. Where to start? Obviously, this is some kind of significant event and would explain the touring minibus with the Ukrainian cycling team plastered on the front. Got a little Jack Russell there. I'm glad he's in the shade. He's probably boiling in that fur coat. What was down here? A bear pit? A prison? There are the toilets, and the toilets are free. That's very nice. They don't want people having a crafty pee round the corner behind a tower. Very sensible to make the toilets free. I did read that allegedly there are some cannonballs still lodged in the stonework. Obviously that would be on the outside and rather more difficult to see for us, but just as testament to how strong the defences of this fortress were, cannonballs could not penetrate the stonework. No idea what that is. Let's see if we can get a clue. Ah, it's a place where they make pots. We're very close to the big cross with the wooden church down below. I wonder what that circle of stones is all about. What have we got here? Historical literature, dolls, painting, jewellery, works of folk artists of Ukraine, handmade goodies, if you feel like any. My friends have already been here in the past, my Ukrainian friends who I'm meeting in a couple of days, I should say. And therefore it doesn't seem appropriate to buy them something small, a fridge magnet, or maybe they'd like a little Jack Russell. Probably not with their cats. Ooh, there's a smokehouse down the end. Smoking some wild beast or other that somebody shot with a bow and arrow. How'd you get up those steps? I'm not sure. Looks as though it might be just here. Gosh, I don't know how people work with cooking with that smoke. God, it goes straight to my throat. Right, just wait our turn before we can attempt these steps ourselves. Don't get me wrong, I do like shashlik. I do like barbecue food. It's just the smoke that it generates is, yeah, something my throat just can't tolerate, really. We're going up here. Okay, I think the coast is clear. Oh. Let's go right first. Some nice views though from up here. I wonder if it's possible to walk all the way around the outside. Guess I might have a look at that possibility. Oh, it is possible to climb up to that big cross. Because I'm curious what that circle of stones is all about. Might leave that for tomorrow. As I'm progressing satisfactorily for myself anyway at the moment. Does that go anywhere? We got another spaniel, or another dog I should say, little spaniel who's probably looking for shade and somewhere to drink and thinking, if you're going to gas me with that smoke from the fire, at least give me some succulent meat that's been cooked on it. Where's my share of the shashlik? So there's a tower which has lost its turret. There were 16 towers originally, allegedly. I've counted 8. I don't know how they would have fit in the other 8. Perhaps what I need to do is refer back to the video footage of that scale model. That would be a smart thing to do, wouldn't it? I might do that tonight. See if I can count 16 towers. we're right here. We've been looking across at the new fortifications, the new castle elements, with some dates here then. So even though these are the new parts, the end of the 17th century. There's a convenient stone. Standing on top of a very wobbly stone. I need to stop that immediately. It wasn't me, I promise. Righty-ho then. We've seen the castle, and you might be thinking, but what about the monk? You promised us the monk. There was going to be a surprise. That's got to wait for the next video, I'm afraid. Not doing it deliberately. It's just I think there's already so much in this video that I can't include the monk, because the monk is actually in a different museum. That away. I didn't look at that notice board, the big poster board at the beginning very clearly. I just saw the monk, got excited and thought, yep, I want to see him again, the cheeky monkey. And okay, look, it was 2004. There's been a lot of brain cell matter lost since 2004 in this head of mine. You have to cut me a break. You don't have to cut me a break, but I'd appreciate it if you cut me a break. Unfortunately, the monk isn't in the main castle where I expected him to be. Where we would all expect him to be, wouldn't we? Oh no, he's not there. He's in another museum, and I'm thinking that will do nicely for tomorrow. Therefore, I'm going to sign off right now, I think. Tomorrow I will come back, and I think I will try and get closer to what I think is the Ruthenian Gate by going a slightly different way. I'll take the same footpath initially that I took, cross the river, but then I will take a little track instead of hedging my bets and going up what appeared to be a more safe route, a more sure bet route, I should call it. So I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I've enjoyed myself. Sorry you couldn't be here in person. No, I'm not, because always too many people around when we're trying to clamber about on the battlements of castles and up and down wobbly, narrow, very tricky sheer ladders. There's a few of them back there, just as a warning. But you'll have a great time. I'm sure you had a great time if you've been here before. And if you choose to at some point in the future, come to Kamyanets, Podilsky. I've given you a flavour without showing or giving you everything that the castle, historical monument, attraction has to offer. I've left a few things that didn't appeal to me, but they might appeal to you. I always like to leave a little bit, you know, leave a little bit behind. But that wasn't my graffiti, okay? Just because it had my name, Ron, wasn't me. Let's get that clear. I'm actually heading to the new town now, which is likely to be the boring part of the day. But just for the practical side of getting some, I won't say decent food, but I will say, okay, I will say it, decent food. I'd like to get to Silpo and get some decent food from the cooked hot food counter, rather than living off baguettes the way I've been living off baguettes with chicken or ham in them recently. I'll say goodbye for now. Thank you again for watching the video, coming along on the trip. Hope you're enjoying the Ukraine series. Is this video ever going to end? Bye for now.